Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, David. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just ducky, I
Quack,
guess.
quack, quack. You're a
But
duck.
yeah, so we've had pretty good week.
Mm-hmm.
Not lots of slicer news. A couple things here and there, but nothing. Most of them are patches and stuff, so
Yeah.
nothing crazy there. Hello, Dominic.
Morning, Dominic.
Um, yeah, but yeah, there's new hardware coming to your house, I think,
Well,
at
there's
some
lots of
point.
new hardware, lots of new hardware. But before we
Yeah,
get there,
yeah.
let's
Should thank
push
some
the
people.
button.
All right. Thanks to all these wonderful people, Hilge at the top level, and everyone else on this list that supports us on Patreon. You allow us to do what we do. And thank you very much. And if you'd like to be a part of Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/3D Make It, where you can join us and you get access to our lovely Discord, where we have great conversations about everything about how to mount your 3D printer and stack them and all that kind of stuff, like we did this week, and more. So lots of good stuff. And anything else, you can go to 3dmakeit.ca.
Yeah. What he said. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. What I said.
Of course.
But yeah, thank you to the patrons. You guys are awesome. So there's something that we've been talking about a long time. Few At least a few streams worth of talk anyway. And it's been in passing because we haven't really seen what it was yet, but then Rocky Mountain um Remurf? Remurf?
Remurf.
Remurf? Maker Faire,
I'd like to go to
Rocky Mountain.
Remurf. We should like actually
We should,
plan
we
and
should go
actually
next year.
go. Like we
Just,
should actually.
where's Remurf?
It's in Colorado.
I mean, I could see the Rocky Mountains from my door, so
Well, we
same
just have to go
same
south.
place, right?
We just go south. So
um. Anyway, I remember there's lots of things. I'm still watching some of the videos, because I mean, Remurf just happened, and so did the Sanjay, the one
oh, that
in England.
yeah. Well, okay, we could go to that one. That's in the UK. That'd be fun.
That right. But like, there's been a few, so I've just been watching some of the videos from both of those. Because obviously, when you didn't go, you have to live vicariously. So, but one thing that did happen at Remurf is the 3D Chameleon. The Mark IV was officially demoed, and the website's now updated to the Mark IV. Mark IV is so still 179 on the website, but lots of the stuff that was. So when I first heard about like the Mark IV coming, I swear I remember him saying that you could buy the cutter as an add-on, like from them. But what really happened was from his table. Um, the So there's a few things. There was a cutter, and then there was oh goodness, what were all the dry
There was there
box, and
there
then
was a
there
dry
was
box, an
like a
LCD, and a cutter, and
there's a
a
few.
whole bunch of things that all tied into the new Mark IV firmware.
So what he did though, it was kind of interesting actually, and it's in the spirit of the project. It's all open sourced. So he's like, yeah, it's all just you can go ahead and just like download files, or right, or you can, or some of the stuff was like you could just buy it from Amazon and integrate it into the thing. So I mean, um, that's kind of I think that's a cool way of doing it. It's just not what we were expecting. That's all.
It's true.
Because we were more expecting like from the way it was first presented was like it was going to be an add-on, but like so the cutter is like an open. It's a servo that you can buy just from Amazon. He made, if you've seen the tub dry boxes, he made one of those too. Um, but I think Greg posted it in our Discord.
Did I? I
Did it go into
know.
Discord?
Maybe I don't remember.
I don't I don't remember either now. My Discord is a little frozen, so I can't look. Um, but if you're looking for the 3D Chameleon stuff, you can get it off their website. Um,
They I looked around and there's no definitive place for the open source add-ons that I
yeah.
could tell. So I think we're waiting for them to update their site with kind of links to them
Mm-hmm.
because um, most of the add-on parts, like the one is like a really strong servo, which does the cutting.
Yeah, and that was
And
like
then
20 amp,
right.
something like that. Servo.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't
oh,
know. It's a very strong servo, but you connect that to your Pi or whatever that controls the MK or whatever the controller is for the MK4. And then they had a couple of others. They had run out sensors. That was the other one.
mm-hmm.
Some run out sensors so that you could set it to random for colors, kind of like the palette used to do, where you could put like a whole bunch of colors in, and if one ran out, it would randomly choose one of the other ones.
Yeah.
So you could
Yes.
use up all your filament ends and stuff,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's neat, but we haven't heard enough about it. Oh, and
Well, and that's the thing. Like
yeah,
this, it's brand new, guys. Like this is a
well, it's
brand
just new
new.
firmware. It's a new,
Well, but
it's
like
a refinement.
the parts are new, like the cutter and all that stuff. So like we don't really know how all that's gonna jive.
Yeah.
Not that I know
Yeah.
how the other stuff, but like again, this brings they unlocked a lot of the features in the stepper drivers now, so that they can
Yeah.
detect more things. So in theory, it should be great. But it's still
Yeah.
$179. That's a good news, especially if you live in the States. It's very accessible. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Cool.
Pull the trigger, Dominic. Send some
So
pictures.
so just for the Rap Festival, the Rocky Mountain, it's in Loveland, Colorado,
Loveland.
which is 13 hours and 30 minutes from Lethbridge.
You go to Seattle.
Yeah,
No.
but I don't think there's a Seattle one. So
Could be.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. But I mean, I have the thing up. I don't know if the pictures are good here. You know what? I'm showing it screen cap. So this is kind of like what the new system looks like on his dry box. So you can kind of see that like he's got like a filament management up here. So kind of like a tangled free management core, and then it feeds out to the printer through the PTFE. But like yeah, like he added the dry box. The LCD screen is new. There's also a part. Let's see if I can show. Yeah, right here. And there's the cutter. So like all of those together make the new Chameleon.
And the cutter's called the 3D Clippy. It's the automatic filament cutter.
There's the thing together.
Yeah. So
That's
there's
cute
a
name.
number of different. Yeah. So there's the MK4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
The Pro is not actually a product we sell. It's an ecosystem that of a set of add-ons that are freely available in open source design that extend the functionality of the MK4 through firmware. So select random filament. That's the one. High speed mode. That's another thing that the MK4 does. I have there's a little link on their website that I'm
Mm-hmm.
reading here.
Yeah.
The OLEDs, 3D.
Hello? I lost Greg's audio. Let's see if I can hear me still. Yeah. Greg, we don't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, we're technical difficulties, Greg and David. Yeah. Give me a second here. We'll see what we can do. Greg's video is not only do I not see Greg, I don't like hear him, and I see the AMS now for some reason. He's gonna talk and he doesn't even know. Hold on, let's disconnect. Now I have to text him to reconnect. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm sorry, guys. I know Greg's making a very good point right now, and when he gets back, let's all be supportive of whatever he's saying. See, he usually goes in the box to my other side there, but he's not there right now, Greg. He's gone. And I hope he reconnects to the camera soon. Maybe. But in the meantime, Dominic had a comment here. If I understand correctly, switching the chameleon from one project to another should be simple as long as you have the G code configured on the different machines. Yeah, and that's kind of the beauty of that whole ecosystem. It's not driven by external firmware. It's driven by G code. So, and I mean, when you think back on other systems like the palette, they were too. It's just the palette needed to know the distance out to your printer and stuff like that. So like you would enter like my machine's PTFE and the Bowden tube is so and so. Morning, Gary. We're just waiting for Greg to reconnect. There he is. There he is. He's looking. Should I show him? He looks real mad right now. Okay, there.
Because
You disconnected, and so then
well, I don't know what happened.
your face went like this. It went, "Bleh," and then you were gone.
So it was like normal.
But I told everybody, I'm sure he's making a really good point. So when he gets back, let's be supportive.
Well, you can hear me though now, right?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
That's really weird.
I thought maybe Greg would quit and there was an opening.
not,
not yet. I mean,
yeah, that was my rage quit.
Rage quit right there. I don't know if it was me or you, but like
I don't know. All of a sudden, like, because I could still hear you, so I don't know what's going on there.
It just went hooker, and that was it.
Yeah. So there's auto calibration, the dry filament box with built-in buffer, and yeah, and the firmware will be open and extensible for anyone else who wants to upgrade it. And all the add-ons and detailed assembly instructions, printable STLs, as well as all the details described in their video will also be included. So they haven't posted the links yet, but
No.
you will be able to get them on the 3D Chameleon site. So
well, like if I remember correctly, like this was the launch. He was waiting for this event, right?
yes, correct.
Yeah.
That's my understanding as well.
Yeah.
So they were refining stuff and this and that, and so yeah.
So like, I kind of made the point too, like this system. Like Dominic said, it's G code based, so you can swap printers. And I said, well, like the palette was kind of the same. It's just you had to tell how long the Bowden tube was, or the distance, like if it was direct drive or whatever, right?
Right, and that's why they've added the auto calibration piece in. so that it can detect the length, because it uses that's the encoder thing for a
Hmm.
buck or whatever that you put on top of your motor,
Yeah, and it goes.
and it monitors how far it moves so it can then calibrate.
Yeah,
So that'll be interesting to see how how that all integrates and whatnot. So that's kind of neat.
I always
But
like to see when they go, like when we engineer things to more closed systems than open. I think that's a great idea.
yeah,
Um,
well, I like the fact that it's open and he's put a lot of effort and thought into it, and so that's really cool. I
it
mean, multicolor is neat because I mean, you know all about that as of this week.
sure do. Um, yep. So like I went out this week and bought a. I always say the name wrong. I always get it wrong. The
P1.
P1S. So I bought a P1S combo with the AMS. Um, and there was quite a bit of like decision process that went in because obviously like we have we could see what the K1 does print
Yep.
wise.
Yep.
Um, and it like this okay, this printer's on sale right now and it's fantastic. And if you don't have one, like you can get in a K1C at I think it was 550 on Creality site Canadian. Um, and
Yeah. Well,
this one's
Spool
also
has it on
cheap,
sale too.
right? So like you can get these.
I thought you were actually going up to buy that one because it was on sale.
Well, like you know me, like I think about it to the very last minute, and it
Not
takes me
no
a
no.
long
Okay, it's not
time.
the last minute. It's the last millisecond.
That's true. I don't actually make a decision very quickly. But so,
He's still deciding as he's typing in his pin to pay.
huh? Is this the right? Do it? Am I doing it? So part of the reason. So again, yeah, I got that right. Ray was there. He knows. Um, Part of the reason we went this way with the P1S is because I talked to my wife and I was like, okay, do you want your prints to? So I showed her. Remember the Pokemon that you had printed, the little
Or the
this one.
dragon?
Yeah. So I brought that home
Yeah.
and showed her, and
And what'd she think? Did she
I'm
like
like,
it?
yeah, and I'm like, well, do you want like because like we've been talking about multicolor for a while. Like we don't want to do a whole ton of it, but to be able to do it was something she was interested in, and like frankly it's cool, right? Like the multi-material thing, like we started back at the palette too,
So
and
does
it's
Ray
neat.
or Dominic is saying there's a volume issue. Am I too low or is David too low?
Yeah, tell us which the issue and then we can fix it, because on
Yeah,
my head they sound pretty good. But let me know. Greg is hot.
I am too hot. Okay.
Whoa. David is
Thank you,
too low.
Dominic. I didn't know you thought that way of me.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh, sussy, sussies. Not that kind of stream. I can. Okay,
Or
now.
David is too low.
Yeah, I
That's
was gonna
true.
say which one is it?
Yeah.
Because one I can fix relatively quickly.
Well, if you turn up David, then everyone can turn us down totally, right?
That's true. Let me. I'm just gonna move this thing here and ignore you for a second. That's up. That's up. We can turn this up a bit. Hello? Is this better? I
All
think this
right.
might be better. Hello.
Test.
Hello, everybody.
Is that better,
Hello.
you guys?
Hello.
Hopefully that's better.
I hope it is. So anyway, we were talking about something about multicolor
Yes, and how
and the
you were
printers
making a
and
choice and
yes.
you wanted to do it sometimes, but
And that's just it, right? Like it's not something that I'm going to do all the time. Every print won't be multicolor, but here's the thing. And having Greg, I know Greg has the X1E at home right now.
temporarily, yes.
And I
Yes, right
know
there.
so he has some ins on the system. I'm gonna say it aloud, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. The AMS is one of the best things ever when it comes to 3D printing, and I'm not talking even for multicolor.
It's a dry box.
It's a dry box, but you can have four
Filament
filaments
run
in
out.
there.
Yeah.
right? So like you can literally just load 4 filaments up, and if you know you're doing a project that week, um, have everything available inside of the AMS. So like you
Yeah.
have your ABS, your PETG, whatever, all in there, ready to go. The RFID thing, that's cool, right?
I see. I haven't tried the RFID thing because I didn't open the factory filaments.
Okay, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about too. But like, the RFID thing, if you guys don't know, Bamboo Labs puts RFIDs on their spools, and then if you have the AMS on and set the spool into the AMS, I noticed if the system was off and then you fed it in and turned it on, it doesn't work. But like if you put the spool in and the AMS is on, it automatically detects what filament and color it is from the RFID, and then it adds that into the AMS screen. So like that's cool too.
Yeah.
Now we'll
I had so many open filaments of the colors I needed that I didn't even bother to
no,
open the, like it came, I don't know what yours came with, but mine came with 3 500, half a kilogram each
yeah,
rolls
I can't
of
remember if it was 5 or 250, but it wasn't a full roll.
uh,
No.
it 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 was 500. Well, this one came with 500s. So
Um, but one thing, and you since you have it there, I'm going to encourage this: open that spool, or open maybe not carbon fiber. Is there a regular PLA one?
I don't think so. Oh, there's a PLA carbon fiber.
Yeah, open that one.
Why?
Trust me. Trust me. So this is something that
Okay, doing it on air. Ready?
He's doing it. Do it. Ooh, he used pokers. He didn't even do the thumb through. All
Okay,
right.
it's open.
Okay, so
So we
hold
got
that
a fairly nice
there.
roll.
So this spool, right?
Mhm.
There's holes everywhere for one thing. So you can actually like put your filament in no matter where it stops. However, if you look at the inside of that spool, Greg, on the inside circle,
Oh, it looks like it comes apart.
so the Bamboo Lab spools of filament, all like the spool itself is reusable. So like this is one thing that I
Ooh, I
really
think I
like to
want to
see.
print with this.
You should. That's what I was saying
it's
is
it's
cool.
pretty.
It's gonna be gorgeous, right?
I don't know what to print though.
I don't know. It's carbon fiber, and that's the other thing about the Bamboo Lab stuff. If you get the PS1, you can do a few upgrades, and then you can print the carbon fiber, which is really cool too. But the spool itself, like that's we've been talking years about a company, making some sort of reusable or sustainable spool. So right now in Canadian dollars, okay, if you were to buy a kilogram of just their PLL basic filament without the spool, it's $21. Right, so $21 gets you the refill for that spool. So I think
That's reasonable.
and it's very sustainable so far.
I don't know
What
what
I've been
shipping would
printing,
cost.
yeah, I don't know. Oh, actually, no, I do know. That's a lie. It's free over like $80 or something like that. So if you order 4, it's free. Um, I think like that's a very step forward thing. Because like we've had respools, we've had like the master spool. I've had spools that come on cardboard with this one boggles my mind. I ordered an Elegoo filament off of Amazon, high speed one,
Mm.
and it came on a cardboard spool. But the cardboard spool, they had put that shiny stuff on the front, so you can't actually um, recycle it because it's shiny. He's doing it right
Okay.
now. He's doing it
Yeah.
right now. It's going
I
in.
figured why not. I'm here.
So like the that obviously like cardboard spool is good but less sustainable, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the bamboo printers right now. So like the other update I did to the P1S when I got it was I ordered the screen, so I made an X touch screen for it. So there's the panda touch, I think it's
Yeah,
called, from
the
Big Tree
Panda
Tech.
Touch. Yep.
But there's also another one that's community driven, open source. A really smart
It
guy made it.
detected it.
Told you. Um, really smart guy made it, and it's called the X Touch, and that's what I did. And the X Touch, you order a touch display for, and then you can print out your.
So where did you get the kit from? Where you bought the printer?
No, well, I bought the printer from Ray,
I know that's why I'm asking
but
because you
they
had the kit so quickly.
no, I ordered that from Amazon on the way home. Um, so I'm going to copy and paste this into the Discord. Um, so if you guys are on the Discord, you can check it out. If you're not, Greg, do the thing. I'm gonna push the
Well,
button. Do it right now.
if you want to join our Patreon, you go to patreon.com/3dmakeit, and or you can go to www.3dmakeit.ca and click on the Patreon link. And then if you want to join up at any of the levels, the 3 levels, you can then get full access to our Discord where you can enjoy these lovely photos that David is posting.
Lovely. You're selling them too much. But they are pretty nice. I mean, I'm a great photographer.
And I noticed that you did added some bamboo green to your
So,
logo. So
yeah,
you
so
did some multi-material. What do you, okay.
I did
I don't know if you've
multi-material.
done any of the tweaking yet, but what did you think of all the poop waste?
Well, like, so that was just literally one layer. So like it didn't have
So that wasn't so bad.
it didn't poop almost at all. There was one curly piece, and then I was like, that's it.
That's not so bad.
I mean, it does poop at the beginning of the like if
Yeah, it
you're
kind of purges it
it,
out, and
it has like a nozzle wiping, and it purges it out the chute.
yeah.
Which is good.
Have you? So you haven't done a big multicolor yet?
No, not yet.
So there's some really good videos out there, and I think even Ray had some tips. You can if you can purge into a model, but and I don't know if Ray knows how to do this, but you can't turn off the wipe tower if you're purging into model.
Yeah.
So you have to reduce the size of the wipe tower so you can have a cool multicolor print, which reduces your waste, so you still have a usable print. And then you can also change the multiplier for the amount of kind of what it extrudes between colors.
Mm-hmm.
So you can reduce that down. I think I put mine at like 0.6. And it seemed to work really well. I don't know what Ray has his set at. So there's a number of settings you can do, and I reduced the waste by half.
Yeah, and like on that print, so I sent the picture to Discord if you guys want to take a look at it. It's on Discord. So like the screen is sitting there, and that where the logo is in the P1S is just one, like it's a one layer thing. So
I've never used that. How does it connect?
So like there's a good GitHub on it, and I will also post that into the Discord channel as well. But like the way it connects is that little touchscreen has Wi-Fi. So what happens is you're going to power the touchscreen. So on the P1S on the front, there's an extra USB port on the inside that's just power. So you can grab that and then you power the screen. But when you're setting everything up, it's basically like on your side, it's like a Raspberry Pi. You make a Wi-Fi text file, and then on the GitHub, there's a website you follow to, and once you plug it into your computer, it detects it. So you plug the USB into your computer, and it flashes it.
So now it doesn't change the firmware on the Bambu, though.
No.
So the Bambu's still stock.
The Bambu doesn't change.
And then the screen is just talking to the Bambu, and it's using its Bambu ID or whatever to communicate.
Yep. Okay. And so then you get so the thing doesn't even have to be near the printer. You could have it anywhere, but I'm going to mount it on the front of the printer so that it's where I want it to be. But the screen just needs 5-volt power, turns on, joins Wi-Fi.
So it just plugs into USB or something?
Yeah. Let's see here if I can.
Cool.
just gonna grab a picture from perhaps the
Discord.
Discord, or not Discord, the uh like the GitHub or something, just to kind of show you.
See, now I don't know what to print with carbon fiber PLA, David. You've ruined
Everybody
it for me.
everybody knows what you should print. Starts with a B, ends with an E. Benji.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
That
Okay,
seems like a waste for it. I need something special.
it's fine. Here, okay, here we go. This is good, right here.
And everyone, carbon fiber filament is not stronger than regular filament, just so you know.
Definitely not, unless you get.
It's actually
into the
technically a
nylons.
little bit weaker
Yeah, it's
because
basically
you
pretty
put
filament.
particles in it, but it has a really cool look.
Okay, so here's the. Oops, that's just me. Really big me. There we go. Here's the P1 Touch, what it looks like. So the case I print obviously mounts to the thing, the printer, but like this is what the screen looks like. The interface tells you the EMS status. You can set temperatures. You can home. You can do everything that you could from the other screen. If you don't know why I did that, it's because the P1S, it does come with a controller, and it's actually pretty good. But it would have been better if it was an encoder controller. So when you're trying to set temperatures, you don't have to like click, 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 click.
You can hold. I think you can hold, and it'll go. Gonna have to
Maybe.
try that.
But honestly, I don't control any of my printers from the controllers anyway. So it wasn't.
How much was the add-on, by the way?
So the
Little
screen
screen.
is $10 for.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And so it has a screen, a Wi-Fi chip, and everything.
Yeah.
Was it designed specifically for the Bambu, or is it like
No,
adapted for it? What can
it's just a do-it-yourself kind of board, right? Like I'm gonna put the GitHub in the
because it
Discord
sounds
right
like
now.
you could do it for a lot of
So
cool
there,
stuff.
I popped
Apparently, my audio is clipping.
Why is he? Hold on, Greg. Your audio is clipping when you speak aggressively. I don't hear him clipping at all.
Yeah, it's weird. I wasn't seeing real clipping, but okay.
I do actually. I do see you into the red on the monitor.
Well,
More than
I can turn
maybe just a
I
bit.
can turn it down a little bit and see if that makes a difference.
When Greg gets
Oh,
excited.
you know what?
But
I bet you. Whoops.
well, don't do that. Anyway, I put the I put the GitHub to the screen that I built for the P1S in the Discord. Super easy. And like the Bambu, the Panda Touch from
Yeah.
Tree Tech is
Uh-huh.
about $80 for
Test it. Did I lose my
Canadian.
audio again?
No, I hear you.
Do you? Because I
Yeah.
see no bouncy now. So
I hear you.
okay.
But yeah,
Weird.
so like this is one of the links on his Discord here that you can follow, but like it's just a do it yourself. It was never made for like specifically for this. It's just a touchscreen kind of like experiment board.
And it has Wi-Fi on the board.
Yeah, so the ESP32 Wi-Fi is on board. So it works really good. The instructions on the GitHub are really easy to follow.
Now, so are there multiple instructions for different projects, or how does or because you did the Bambu,
right?
right?
Well, like the X Touch is specifically for the Bambu.
Oh, okay.
So X Touch is like the project that. So
okay.
And the screen isn't actually part of the project. It's just like it would be ordering like an Arduino or something like that, right?
I guess we got to look at what projects those screens can do, because there might be other cool stuff.
And they actually work. So so this is another side topic, I guess, but on the same vein of this, like as you know,
I've got a pie screen right there.
Yeah,
that's got rainbow lines and
junk.
The touch doesn't work. It's the Pi add-on screen, which I think you have the same one for.
Yep. It's in the garbage now, but
big tree tech. So yeah, it doesn't work that great anymore.
Like
it worked for a while.
Yeah, like when I
but
first tried
but
it, it
it's like
worked, but it doesn't work anymore. And the
I
weird
don't
part
know.
is mine was just in a drawer, like safe, doing nothing.
Mine,
But
like if I reboot it, it works fine, but then it's like gets interference or something. I don't know. So
um, so that's a screen that's a side topic on the Big Tree Tech. But anyway, so I did. I tried a little multicolor printing on it. Um, and both these printers can print 15-ish minute benchies, like the K1 or the Bamboos, right? So if that's your mark of success as a benchy, then
well,
good
it tells you
good news.
it can print fast and you can recognize a benchy at the end.
It's true. It's benchy
Did you see?
adjacent.
Did you see proper printing? He had an early K1 I think, or K1C. I don't. But he his it was never extruding right. He was getting lots of under extrusion. I guess that was common in some of the pre-release ones or early ones.
Yeah, the first
And so
versions, the
so
K1.
he made an adapter and put an extruder outside and put a Bowden tube to it.
Yeah.
He did a 6.5 minute benchy
Mm,
because it
goodness.
lightened up it took off like 150 grams off of the or
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little more off of the head, and he was able to even push it faster. And so he used a bond tech on the outside, and he made it totally reversible so he could put it back in, so he didn't like modify or cut anything.
Yeah.
Everything was plugs and whatnot so that it could be fully reversible. So yeah, if you want to see uh him go through the process, it was kind of cool. So yeah.
Looks like it's one of his latest ish videos.
Yeah, it just came out. So it's interesting because I guess just the early K1s had under extrusion problem. So
Yeah, it was the first, the well, first and some of the second gen. So like on the K1 and K1 Max, there's on top of the extruder, there's a toggle that you can flip on or off, to load or unload filament, and that wasn't actually engaging properly. So then it wasn't doing anything when the
yeah,
yeah. So, they fixed it, as far as I know. They said they did anyway, because it's
yeah.
working on this one.
Well, I think by the time they got to the K1C, because that's the third gen, I guess,
Well,
of it.
they had fixed that issue in the
And then
second
well, and
gen.
then they now they have the top that goes higher and whatnot, so that the drag chain doesn't, and Bowden tube doesn't rub and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
you
There's
know,
and then the
so,
other thing that's
so the
in
K2 should have all those refinements and then some new quirks.
maybe here's the thing, and this is like a thought process that I had actually when I was looking at new printers too. Um, Creality is very good at getting printers to market quickly. Really good. In fact,
Hmm.
you look at their push with the Ender 3, they flooded the market with Ender 3s, right?
Yep. It
The
takes them a
fir-
few iterations though to get it right.
the first Ender 3 had issues, right? Like the first CR10 could catch fire. The when you look back at almost all of the product launches,
You
like
want the second gen or
yeah,
third or fourth or
because
fifth.
like Ender 3 is great, but Ender 3 Pro was better, you know? Like
CR6.
yeah,
Like you think they would have had it all solved by the CR6 because the CR6 was only an
and
ender with some
fancier.
enhancements, and
Yeah.
they still had like a power wire issue and this and that, and so yeah, it takes them some time. Whereas uh you know not that Bamboo hasn't had issues. You look at the A1, the power issues and whatnot. um
Yeah,
but
it's true.
but
Like
they come out with a very polished product up front.
and one thing I've noticed between the two printers too is the so we might as well talk about the ecosystem.
Hmm.
So like Bamboo Lab has Studio, it has the Handy app, it has the printer, it has the MS, right? It has all of those things. Was it Maker World? I think is
Yep.
the Bamboo Lab version of Thingiverse ish thing. And I will say that like if you have the handy app, like Maker World's built right in, and you can queue prints right from your phone. It's kind of cool.
Now, I do believe, David, we had
Mm,
discussed this, and
mm.
I don't want to blindside you. Are we going to? Because David is pretty good at pen testing.
And pen tester. Yeah, I think
So
we
so
will.
I think we want, what we'd like to do is a proper analysis of this, because, like, for example, um where when this goes back to our office, there's certain websites in certain countries that are blocked, right? So will it break stuff? Are they actually sending stuff back to Texas, or are they sending it to China? Right.
Yeah.
So
So,
it'll be interesting to do that analysis and see, and that should probably be a video once we you've done a conclusion and whatnot,
mm,
because there's all this controversy. Well, I don't want to send my stuff to China. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if you're using a Creality product and you're using that, I mean, you could potentially be sending stuff to China now
well,
anyway. So
I mean, it's the
it's
Facebook argument, right? Like, oh, I don't give Facebook right to do this. Well, you're using it. You're giving
uh,
Facebook unlimited right. Like,
well,
so like when I looked at, so I kind of
it,
started the process a little bit on the Bamboo anyway by reading the terms and service and privacy agreement. And I found out some interesting things. First being, now I'm not sure, like most of us here right now are North American based, so this might sound not familiar, but um, part of their privacy terms on Bamboo Labs was they follow the GDPR,
which is the European
which is the
security, which is even tougher, I
yeah.
think.
So General Data Protection Regulations what stands for, and basically, if you take it at a really high level, what it means is you have the right to know what a company is storing of yours, and you also have the right to remove it. So you have the right to consent, and you have the right to remove that consent at any time, right? So if you're not comfortable with something that you've heard or find out, now the other thing too is Bamboo has actually a few different ends, like Greg mentioned. There's one in the States. There is actually a Canadian leg that's not mentioned. There's one in Europe, and then Bamboo Limited and stuff operates out of China, right? So there's a few different legs. But the thing is, and as much as we don't like it, Apple has very stringent requirements when it comes to apps being published on their app store, right? So
Yep.
if Apple allows an app on the App Store, it's actually a good sign of trust that perhaps the app has been vetted at some level, right? I'm not saying blindly trust an app, do your own research. But after reading all the terms and services in the Handy app and all of the terms and privacy services and stuff on their website, um, it's not as bad, I think, as people are laying out.
Now, that's why we'll also maybe follow up with a bit of a vulnerability scan and testing and
Yeah.
seeing what data and what communication is going where, because you know it's good that they define that in their terms of service, but it's a good idea to have a good look at it and decide whether it's actually valid everywhere else. So
I
yeah.
mean, and yeah, that's part of the process, right? And like, again, even once we do that, please use your own brain and think for yourself.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
you feel like it's not worth um the risk, then
Well,
don't do
and
it.
and and the enterprise version, here, you can actually turn off the Wi-Fi, or they have the option to remove the whole Wi-Fi card. So, for example, if you were using this in a military, organization or something, and you had to print things, you might have the requirement to have no network connectivity, period.
Right?
And so then you could actually remove the card, and it's still, and they support it, full warranty and everything. So you can not only turn it either Wi-Fi or Ethernet or both, you could actually remove the card completely. So that's kind of neat. So So they do have options for you if you don't want um, that sort of vulnerability. If you're that concerned about, like, I'm sorry, but if I'm printing something, you know, do I care that they saw that I was printing this? If it was sent, do they even care? Probably not.
An application is key, right? Like if you are prototyping and building and yada 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 yada, you're gonna buy the X1E or something that is like you're not if you're building something that's that um
Top
either
secret
private, top
or
secret, whatever.
prototypey.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing it over the web anyway. Hopefully not, right? So you're going
Yeah.
to be using an offline solution, and these printers do offer, like Eric says, offline solutions to K1, K1 Max. However, one thing, hey Helge, one thing that I mean should be at the front of your mind, I guess, is that like these printers, both of them, K1 and the Bambu Lab, like they pull updates over the web.
Yeah. So if you want a firmware update, you either have to download the firmware update manually and put it on the SD card and do it, or you pull it from the web. So it's up to you. Like, they allow both ways of doing it. So
Yeah, it's again, it's one of those. You're gonna have to make your own decision on that, whether
yep.
you trust it or your applications. But
And I've used the Handy app, and it's pretty good.
I've
It's
used it
nice
as
to be
well.
able to see, like, does the P1S, does it have a camera?
Yep. So you can
Yeah.
watch the
So
print and
you
monitor
can
and.
check on the print and
Mhm.
whatnot. So it's pretty good. And then you get a notification that your print is done. It actually integrates quite nicely, and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's again, like they've done
Does,
a really good
does
job.
Creality? I haven't played. Does Creality have an app that does something similar for the K1 series?
They do, but that one I didn't install, and that was there. There's reasons not to install that one. If for me, when you read the terms and service and privacy, so that's
Okay,
it
no,
was
that's
a
valid.
that
Like,
that
because
one was a
they want all your info. Is that what you're saying?
well, you're not. They want it, and then they don't really explain what's happening to it. It's a
Yeah.
mystery, which I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah.
um, I don't like that. So like they're pretty upfront about like the Bamboo Lab guys are upfront about it. Yeah, we're gonna use your stuff. We might use information from your printer to make our printer better. If
You know,
you know.
if it gets error, like, and that's one thing that I've noticed, that when I've had errors, like I had filament break, was using some really crappy white filament,
Mm-hmm.
um, by a Creality company, and it
Mm-hmm.
broke in the tube, and
Yep.
so it had really good instructions on how to remove it. It had nice error code. It had a QR code with instructions. Like, they're very thorough on, here's how you, and I never lost my job, or my job never quit, or never like had to,
Mm-hmm.
like, it stopped halfway up and cleared it, got it all going, and the instructions were very, very good. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I think the interface is very refined. I would almost say that Bamboo is like Apple and Creality's like Android.
A little bit, honestly, because Bamboo takes great pride in the whole like. So this people hate it a bit because it's not as open source as some of the community is used to. But
Right,
that's
right.
not why you're buying a
but
Bamboo.
but yeah, and that's not why I buy an
And
iPhone either, right?
exactly, you buy an iPhone because one, it's gonna work.
It's
Yeah,
secure.
secure. Like we switched, I don't know how many years ago, two
Yeah, uh,
maybe.
and I'm like the biggest Android guy on the planet. It was really hard to go to Apple, but
Yeah,
And I'm still an Android guy through and through, but I gotta say that it's very reliable.
That's it, right? Like
Less glitchy. Like that's the one thing with whether you got the Pixel stuff or the Samsung, it was always just a bit
something's a little
glitchy.
different, yeah. And the thing is the EU could be ruining this for us,
Yeah, they
as
want to
we
open
speak.
source Apple, yeah,
Yeah, they
or
want
open
Apple.
it up anyway.
They want Apple, yeah, sideload basically. They're like you can't control it that much, which I disagree with. I think that a company has the right to release a product that they take such good care of that they can guarantee everything works. Like I understand the right to repair and that stuff. Of
Hmm.
course, you should be able to fix your own stuff. Dominic says, I like being able to make modifications to my printers. That said, when I was a lot younger, I used to modify a car and engine, and that's just
Yeah,
it, right?
and
Yeah,
and but they haven't blocked that. So that's the one thing that Bamboo has said, that you can put their open source the open source firmware on here. So it does void your warranty or whatever, but they allow you to go back and forth. So you could go on here and you could load the that open source version of the Bamboo software that someone made. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. And then you can modify like crazy. Um, or you could use a printer that works really well right out of the box that needs very few modifications too. And they did open up certain parts of it, like for example, um, the hot end on the Bamboo,
yeah.
right? This one is the point 0.6, which came with it, but I haven't put on. It won't focus, but whatever.
Just
um
like come on.
uh you can put a Revo on this thing. You can put um they made a Obsidian, E3D made an Obsidian hot end for this thing.
Yeah.
There's Micro Swiss has made hot, like so it's not like you can't add third party modifications to it to if you want to print at a higher
Hmm.
flow rate or whatever, you can. So Dominic, you're not completely closed off just because the software is more closed than Marlin was.
Yeah.
A lot of times the mods to your printer have nothing to do with the firmware,
Right.
right? And you can still do those.
So Helge brings up a point um after Dominic's point that just says all of your info in China, like any other company, they have their reasons, sometimes not altruistic. I paraphrase, but um that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah.
I'll say
But,
two words answer.
but
Two word answer here. Cambridge Analytica.
yeah,
Remember that?
yeah, yeah. Facebook gave all their data for analytics away, right?
Right?
Like
And there's
because
another
a third party had connection to their system and they could just get whatever they want, right? So it's if do you want Twitter to have all your stuff? Do you want Facebook to have all
yeah.
your stuff? It's the same thing. It
Well,
really is. It's just like, you know,
the,
now China knows that you buy this much filament from whoever.
the thing is if I'm not saying this to be scary. This is not a scary statement. This is a statement that's going to be truthful and not scary. The truth of the matter is your info, if you're over the age of 20, is already out there and has been out there for a long time. Dark web scans are a real thing, and you would be surprised what's out there on you. It's not a scary statement, and that's why we need to look at holistic methods of like protecting ourselves these days. Like it's not just like antivirus. Maybe you should be thinking about identity protection, and that's a security statement, not a 3D printing statement. But again, when I look at customer or companies' terms and service, and they say that they like I have to trust what the privacy and terms say, and like when they say something like, yeah, you can revoke us at any time and we'll get rid of that, That's what I believe. That's what I have to go by until it's proven wrong. Um, but like what so from what so Dominic says, from what I understand, you can't. Let's go back to 3D printing now.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you can't make hardware upgrades like linear rods or
You,
bearing stacks. So you
so
can,
so you
but
could, but you've got carbon fiber lightweight rods in here. So why would you want the weight of a linear rail?
and
Right?
the thing is they've engineered this machine so well that it's
Yeah.
going to perform. And I'll say that about the K1 and the other one, like the Creality ones.
Yeah.
Like they are both great machines. Do you want a recommendation on which machine to buy? Either. They're
Yeah.
great.
I mean, if you want to modify and change stuff to your heart's consent, that is what a Voron is for,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, they come with out with upgrades, they come out with different pieces and modifications and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then this one's not for you. You can pay for a Voron because that's exactly what they're for. Are Vorons great? Yes. Are they just as good as a Bamboo? Yeah.
Probably. Depends
Yeah.
how well you make it, right? And that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Right. Right.
Like you're buying something pre-made that works, or you're going to build something. And
And
and I love to tinker, and I do look at the Voron Zero and go,
yeah.
right?
Well, but here's the thing. You can do whatever you want to do
Mm-hmm.
on any printer, even the Bamboos, right?
Yeah,
You can. Now,
could yank the board out and put it back.
should you do that? It's up to you.
Maybe.
I'm not going to modify this. If something breaks and the Bamboo goes bankrupt and whatnot, and the board fries and you can't get a new board, of course I'm going to try to get everything working. So is everyone else, right? They're going to modify it, put a new board in it or whatever, right?
I mean,
Because we know not all companies last forever.
yeah, we've seen it come and go. I think of Raymond actually. He has a lot of good mods that he's doing on the K
Yeah.
series that he has, right? And so
Mhm.
like there still is the tinkerability if you want. Like there's always, if you think something looks better, you can change it. It's just you got to keep in mind that like for both the K1 and the Bamboo,
Yeah.
they ship in a way that you can take them out of the box, sit them down, and print. Right? And
One thing we got to remember is we started from a bare bones, low cost, let's say Ender 3, right?
Yep.
And there was lots of improvements to make it print better, right? There was lots of mods and whatnot that you really should do to tweak it. Would it print out of the box? Yes. Would it print great out of the box? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Because your frame could be unsquare and a lot of things. These things are so engineered that they're very accurate right from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the like an Ender 5 or an Ender 3 or Ender 7, like there was stuff that really needed to be modified to get a higher quality of print, to print faster, whether it's adding a tensioner, because the original ones didn't come with tensioners, right? There's bed springs that are heavier so that your bed would stay level longer. Like there was lots of mods you could do, but the reason you had to do them is you spent $200 to $250 on a printer.
Well,
right?
that's just it, right? Like go to Yegi or Thingiverse or things and type in Ender 3 mods, or like even just type in the word fan duct. There's thousands of different things, right? The good news is Bamboo work plenty good, so there's no need for tinkering. Absolutely helps.
Right.
And that's just it. Like when you're buying products like these, we've truly come to the word prosumer now.
Oh, like this prints so well. Like, I'm almost considering, getting rid of a few of the other printers that sit idle more of the time and just buying, like the P1P like you got, or P1S.
Yeah, P1S. Honestly, P1S is great
because it has everything but LiDAR.
And
like it's the same printer.
if you wanted to print carbon fiber, you can spend $50, and that's how much it costs to upgrade, right? Uh, uh, to the
Now, is that just a different nozzle,
so it's a so
or is it the
you need the
heated in
hardened
chamber?
steel. No, it's not it's so that's the extruder changes in the nozzle.
Okay,
Yeah, but like it's
so it's an upgrade
enclosed.
kit.
Yeah, well, kind of. You're just buying the parts for the other printer, um, but like yeah, like honestly, love the P1S. Um, and I like the X1E is going to be great at work. This is going to be great at work. Um, we've we actually did some digging into some of the safety requirements too, and we're happily
Yep.
surprised. So
Yep.
like these are just they're going to be great, and honestly they're going to be better like for us, like you said, these ones are going to print so fast and so reliably, we could replace the whole fleet with two printers,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep.
it should be good. But my friends, I'm gonna push this button that says like and subscribe first. See, like up, subscribe. Uh, if you want to check us out, you can go 3dmakeit.ca. We have a bunch of stuff up there. We're gonna be having more stuff up there. We'll even take down the Christmas contest sometime.
Yeah, we're gonna got to do some refinement. Probably put some of the lists of our current printers that we have,
Yeah,
because we have old printers on there, and all that kind of stuff. Maybe put have a full clipper section so that we can put example
configs and
configs up
yeah.
there, so of the printer configs, so that we'll give the specs and stuff. So there's refinements we can do, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
overhauls. So
We should roll our GitHub up too. Now that we have enough of that. I'm gonna push the button.
Ray said, in my case, I replaced 3 printers with 7.
Yeah, it's so true. They're just reliable. They're quick. They work great.
Yeah.
Um, I would encourage like again if you want my recommendation versus K1 Bamboo right now, either it's fine. Do it. I love the AMS. I didn't think I would love the AMS so much, but like just even the ability to have more than one filament ready to go,
Yep.
like not even the multicolor, just colors or types in general. It's great. But un- we're going to have to bid you adieu. We hope to have some comprehensive slicer stuff soon on Bamboo and Orca. So, yes. Yes, Edge.
Yeah.
You nailed
Yes.
it.
Yeah. You just have to spend a little more money.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
But these options weren't here years ago. But
no.
thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Oh, maybe. I think
I
so.
don't know.
Eh.
We'll see how the thing goes. Bye.